Hi everybody, welcome to Power Flow. My name is Kayla. It's an honor and joy to be able to lead your practice. Today you're gonna need a mat, a yoga block or two, a yoga strap, and some water. So let's get started. We're gonna do child's pose today, letting your knees fall out just past mat distance apart, bringing your toes, your big toes to touch, letting your forehead come all the way down to the mat today, taking a bit more of a passive child's pose to start class. And getting connected with your breath, getting grounded down into the next 45 minutes or so of today's flow. Leaving whatever stresses of your day-to-day life are going on, just setting them outside of your practice, outside of your flow today. Really getting intentional with your breath, intentional with your thoughts, and intentional with your movements today. On your next inhale, go ahead and press up, coming through a neutral spine and tabletop posture here. Taking a little bit of organic movement, wiggling it out. Whatever feels good in your body today. Take a full cycle of breath here. And come to stillness. And on your next inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, look up towards the ceiling for a cow. And exhale, pressing into your hands, into your knees, lifting your spine, cat. Take 2 more cycles of cat-cow, moving with your breath, taking your pace. Just starting to get our body a little bit warm. Some subtle movement here. And inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. On your next inhale, lift your right hand up to the ceiling, rolling your wrist out. And exhale, threading the needle, planting your right shoulder, your right cheek down to the mat. Getting a gentle shoulder stretch here. Take a full breath. And at the end of your exhale, go ahead, press into your left hand, lifting your right hand back up to the ceiling, rolling out your wrist, and gently setting it back down on the mat. Inhale, we'll go to the other side, rolling out your left wrist, and exhale, threading the needle again. Breathing here. Aligning your hips directly over your knees. Letting your shoulder and your left cheek come all the way to the mat. And on your next inhale, press into your right hand, lift your left hand up towards the ceiling, rolling out your wrist. And exhale, lowering it back down. Now we'll go for a little bit of stability and core strength here. Point your right hand out to the top right corner of your mat and kick your left foot out to the back left corner of your mat. Inhale, lifting both your left leg and your right arm. Exhale, coming to crunch, bringing your knee to your elbow. We'll take a few more of those, moving at your breath, inhaling and lifting. Exhaling, crunching and contracting. We'll do 2 more cycles of these movements. Last one. Gently press your limbs back down on the mat, all 4 of them, and set up for the other side. Right foot, left hand this time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, crunching. Creating a nice round spine as you contract. And reaching your toes and your fingers to opposing walls when you stretch out. Last one right here, reaching out and crunching in. And coming back to neutral spine, neutral alignment. Take a little bit of wiggle room here. And before we move out of this tabletop posture, we'll just do a few tiger poses, grounding down into all four corners of both hands, keeping your left knee planted, lifting your right leg up high to the sky, creating a bend, a 90-degree bend at your right knee, and pointing your big toe on your right foot up towards the ceiling, breathing here, feeling the burn in your glutes, your thighs, that core work. Full exhale. Lower, gently setting your right knee back down on the mat. And set up for the other side, getting grounded into your right knee this time. Inhale, lifting your left leg up, taking a bend at the knee, and pointing your left toes up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. And gently lower your left leg back down. Press it back for a child's pose. A little release in your low back. Breathing here. And inhale, come through. Tabletop into a seated. And just adjust a little bit so that your sit bones feel comfortable. We're gonna keep going with a little bit of core work here. We're gonna start sitting just as you are, legs crossed. Inhale and elongate your spine, pull your shoulder blades back and in towards each other. Lift the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, curve your spine, contract your abs. Let your neck, your chin come to tuck to your chest. Inhale, rise, lifting. Exhale, contracting. Let's do two more. Inhale, lifting, peeling your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, contracting, flexing your abs, flexing your core. One more inhale, lifting, elongating. And contracting. Inhale, come back up. This time, let your feet come out long. Take a slight bend at your knees. On your inhale, we're gonna lift our hands up above our head and exhale to contract again. Inhale, rising up, reaching your hands, pulling your upper body towards the ceiling. Exhale, folding, contracting, finding a nice bend in your spine. Take two more of these at your pace, at your breath. Exhale, contracting. Inhale, rising and elongating. Last one. This time, on your inhale, coming up, lifting up. Exhale, reaching to the right side of your mat as you contract. Inhale, coming through center, reaching up. Exhale, reaching back to the left side. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, contracting to the right. Moving with your breath. Take two more on each side. Last one on the right side right here. Last one on the left side right here. Come up through center. Take a little butterfly here. Letting the soles of your feet come to touch and using your elbows to press down on your legs to intensify that stretch. Taking a little bit of rest to your core, your abdominals. One more full breath here. And on your release, come back through tabletop, curling your toes and pressing back into downward facing dog. Your first one of the day, you can take a little bit of organic movement here, rolling your ankles and your toes, rolling forward from high plank back to downward facing dog. And then come to find stillness in your down dog. Empty everything out. At the end of your breath, take a slight bend in your legs and travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to ragdoll. Grab opposing elbows. Let your head hang heavy. You can sway side to side. And exhale, release your hands to the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up to a standing mountain posture. And lower your arms down. Get grounded into all four corners of both of your feet. Inhale, bring your hands to a prayer posture at heart center. And exhale, sit in your chair, letting your knees align directly over your ankles. Breathing here, sitting deep into your chair. And on your exhale, twist to the right side of your mat, locking your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Breathing here. With each exhale, press into your thigh, creating a deeper twist. And inhale, rise back into chair. We'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale, pressing your hands to the walls on either side of you. And exhale, bringing them back to center. Out to the side walls. And back into center. Taking these movements at the pace of your breath. And at the end of this breath, come back to prayer posture and take your twist to the left side mat, hooking your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh this time. Breathing here. Staying intentional with your breath, connecting with your ujjayi, your victorious breath. And inhale, rising back up to chair. For 3 more breaths, inhaling, pressing your hands to the wall, and exhaling, coming to center. Last breath. Exhale, forward fold. Release all that tension in your thighs and your glutes. Take a fingers to toes forward fold here. Heel toe your feet hip width distance apart. Interlace your peace fingers on your big toes. And on your next exhale, use your upper body and pull the crown of your head towards your mat. Press into your heels to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Take your flow, moving from high plank into low plank, into upward facing dog, and finally pressing back and meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting your right leg up, 3-legged dog, shaking out your ankle, your knee. Breathing here for just a moment. And exhale, stepping your right foot to meet your hands. Inhale, rising up into crescent lunge. Looking up past your fingertips here. Exhale, sitting 1 inch deeper into that lunge. One more full inhale. And open up into warrior two, planting your back foot down on the mat, 45-degree angle, reaching to opposing walls, letting your gaze fall over your right fingertips, breathing here. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your right fingertips to the wall behind you. And exhale, come forward to an extended side angle. One more full inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step your foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog with your left foot up this time, shaking it out, taking organic movement. And exhale, stepping it through to meet your hands. Rising on your inhale, crescent lunge. Pulling your shoulders back towards each other. Inhaling to elongate your spine. And exhaling, sitting 1 inch deeper into your lunge. Open up into warrior two. Let your gaze flow over your left fingertips. Breathing here. Empty everything out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And come forward, extended side angle, reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And exhale, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Take 2 full cycles of breath right here. And at the end of your last exhale, take a slight bend in your legs and travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to a standing mountain posture. We're gonna transition into some balance poses here. Options to grab your blocks, grab your yoga strap, whatever feels good in your practice. I'm gonna use a yoga strap today and a block. So let's get started first in standing leg raise. Let's get grounded down into your left foot. Really feeling the heel planted, the ball of your foot planted. And inhale, lifting up your right leg, 90-degree bend at the hip, 90-degree bend at the knee, 90-degree bend at the ankle. From here, option to interlace your peace fingers onto your right big toe. Use your strap to grab the bottom of your foot. And on your next exhale, kick your leg out straight and open up to the right side, bringing your gaze, over your left fingertips. And if you wobble a little bit, that's okay. These poses are to challenge your stability, challenge your posture. And when you fall, it means that you are challenging it. You're growing those tiny muscles that help you stay stable. And it helps if you bring your gaze to one non-moving point in the room. Breathing here. One more full inhale. Exhale, gently come through center without setting your foot down, and kick your right foot back like you're trying to stamp your footprint on the wall behind you. Take a small back bend, airplane here, breathing. And exhale, open up to half moon, bringing your left hand either all the way down to the mat, to a block, to a water bottle, whatever feels good in your practice today. Reaching your right fingertips up towards the ceiling and letting your gaze open up to the right side of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Take a slight bend in your knees, letting your belly rest on your thighs, And feeling a nice deep stretch up your calves right here. Inhale, straighten your legs again. Rise up to standing mountain posture. And let's get set up for that stability flow on the other side. So getting grounded down into all four corners of your right foot this time. Inhale, lifting your left leg and taking whatever variation of standing leg raise feels good in your practice today. Extending your left leg out and reaching to the right side of your body, letting your gaze follow those fingertips. Breathing here, feeling strong in your right quad. Last full inhale. And exhale, gently come through center and kick your left foot back for airplane posture. Creating a T with your full body and your right leg. Letting your left leg and upper body become parallel to the ground. And taking a small back bend, opening up your chest, opening up your heart. And again, wobbling is okay. It's good. You're challenging yourself. And on your next exhale, plant your right hand down, open up into half moon. For an additional intensity into this posture, you can flex your left toes back and up towards your left shin. Exhale, fold forward. And we'll take a bend in our legs again to feel a nice deep stretch up the calves. And inhale, press your hips back up. Halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Take a rest breath here in this downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting your right leg up, three-legged dog. Shaking it out, rolling your ankle. And opening all the way up into wild thing. Breathing here. Pressing into both heels to lift your hips up and grounding down into your left hand, feeling strong through your shoulders, through your glutes, through your core. And exhale, rolling through high plank, all the way over to side plank on your right side body. Breathing here. And exhale, release high plank, pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. And open up into wild thing. For another full cycle of breath. And gently roll through high plank and all the way over to side plank on your left side body. Breathing here. And come through center, high plank, plant your knees, press it back, child's pose. Take an activated child's pose here, pressing into your hands, extending your elbows, but letting your breath slow a little bit and noticing your muscles are loose. You can press a little deeper into this child's pose. Inhale, come back up through neutral spine, tabletop. And we're gonna take a tiger pose again, now that our body is warm and feeling a little bit more intense. Ground down into your left knee, both hands, And lift your right leg up, pointing your right toes towards the ceiling, tiger pose. One more full breath. Release and lower your right leg. Take a little bit of organic movement here. And when you find stillness, inhale to lift your left leg this time, pointing your left toes to the ceiling, breathing. One more. Releasing back down. Coming all the way onto your knees for a hero pose right here. Just for a breath or two, feeling a nice deep stretch on the tops of your thighs. One more full breath. Inhale, come up onto your knees and take a moment to place your hands on the back sides of your hips. Options here to reach down for your ankles or let your hands stay exactly where they are. When you feel ready, when you feel set up, we're gonna bend back into camel pose, letting your head and neck fall heavy, looking to the wall behind you, pressing your hips forward to the wall in front of you, breathing here. One more full breath. Inhale, gently rise up one vertebrae at a time. Plant your hands, curl your toes, and press up for downward facing dog. At the end of your exhale, you can step or hop to the top of your mat. And you can heel toe your feet just past hip width distance apart for a wide-legged forward fold. Options to bring your hands either to a block all the way down to the mat or grabbing the backs of your calves. Whatever variation you're taking, go there. Breathing through this. One more full cycle of breath. And rotate your feet over to the right side, bringing your upper body to meet your belly, to meet your right thigh. Humble warrior, hands planted on either side of your right foot. And your left foot, you may need to step in and closer to your right foot. Breathing here. Options to use a block for this twist, or keep your left hand planted all the way down on the mat. But on your next inhale, open up your right hand, reaching towards the ceiling for a nice deep twist. Full body twist here, feeling an intense stretch up both legs. Exhale, release, come back through center. And slowly walk your hands to center, heel toe your feet just wider than hip width distance for a wide leg forward fold. Pulling your upper body towards the mat, breathing here. And you can start to move and rotate your feet and hands, walking over to the left side this time. Humble warrior, breathing here. Getting your props ready if that's in your practice. And on your next inhale, opening up, twisting, planting your right hand down, and with each exhale, opening deeper into that twist. And release, moving your blocks, coming back to center. And one more time, walking your feet out wide for a forward fold.
take 3 full breaths here. And if headstand is in your practice, you can go ahead and take a headstand. If you made it to headstand, go ahead, come back down, planting your feet on your mat. And everyone can start to heel toe their feet back to touch. And we'll take a palms toes forward fold, bringing your palms underneath your feet, letting your toes come to meet the creases of your wrists. And on your next exhale, using your upper body, pull the crown of your head to your mat, breathing here. One more full breath. Release. Rise all the way up to a standing posture. Step it out. Shake it out. Take whatever movement feels good in your body today. And then inhale, bringing your hands to heart center, prayer posture. Walk your feet just past hip width distance apart. And on your next exhale, take a deep yogi squat, letting your elbows come to meet just inside your knees. Breathing here. One more full breath. And exhale, tilting forward to crow pose. Nothing should change in your alignment from your elbows to your knees. Lifting your feet up and off the floor. You can do one toe at a time. Or just balance on your elbows with both toes planted on your mat. And exhale, kicking it back. High plank. And pressing into downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling through high plank and lowering onto your belly all the way down to your mat. Moving any props that are in the way of your hands coming out to a T. And on your next inhale, we're gonna do locust pose. So lifting up, looking up, kicking your toes up and towards the wall behind you. Breathing here, surrendering to this full back bend. And exhale, lowering back down, bringing your left cheek to meet the mat, taking a rest breath here. Inhale for locust number 2, lifting up, looking up, going up, pulling your toes to the wall behind you, and energetically sending the crown of your head to the wall in front of you. Breathing here. And exhale, lowering your right cheek down to the mat. And plant your arms in alignment for Sphinx pose, letting your elbows rest directly below your shoulders, peeling your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you take some movement, nodding your head, yes or no, or taking full circles. If you were taking circles, go ahead, reverse those circles. And then come to find stillness in your Sphinx pose. Press up into upward facing dog, balancing on your toes, looking up, and plant your knees, pressing back into a child's pose, letting your forehead come to meet the mat. Empty everything out. And grab your blocks. Line them up. At the top of your mat, you're gonna balance your arms on each block. Align your knees directly under your hips. And we're gonna take a melting heart pose. With the blocks, adds a little bit of intensity. Option to also leave the blocks out and just have your arms on your mat. But enjoying this deep shoulder stretch, this deep heart opener. One more full breath here. And gently press up out of your melting heart, moving your blocks aside. Coming through an easy seated pose and propping yourself up to do a little bit of core work here. So let's start with a boat pose, bringing your shins or your calves parallel to the mat or the ground below you, flexing your big toes up and towards your face. Options to leave your hands grabbing the backs of your thighs, bringing them out to your side, or bringing them all the way up. Whatever feels good in your practice today, go there, and we'll be here for 3 full breaths. With each inhale, pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, peeling your shoulder blades back and towards each other, and exhale, holding in that crunch, feeling the burn. Last full breath right here. Exhale, lowering back down, planting your feet onto your mat, and take a little windshield wiper right here from left to right. And then come to stillness. And we'll do 3 bridges today, staying in theme with working on our core, full body here. On your next inhale, press your hips up. Breathing here, getting grounded into both shoulder blades, into the back of your head, your skull. And exhale, lowering everything back down. Again, windshield wipering those legs between. And inhale, lifting back up into bridge. Breathing here. Lowering down. Windshield wiper for a full cycle of breath. And then we've got one last bridge today. Come back through center, finding stillness. Inhale, lifting up. Last bridge, make it your fullest expression here. Last inhale. And exhale, release. Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet to touch. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. You can take a little bit of flutter with your legs here, or just find stillness. Take 2 full breaths. And bring your feet back up. Take a little windshield wiper one more time. And exhale, let your knees fall over to your left side body, bringing your gaze over your right fingertips and reaching your right fingertips to the right side of your mat. Breathing here and letting your breath become a little bit more organic, less intentional. And coming back up and through center, windshield wiper your legs. And let your knees fall over to the right side this time. And your gaze just flows over your left fingertips, reaching to the left side of your mat. Inhale, coming back through center, this time taking a reclined pigeon posture, letting your right calf come to meet the top of your left thigh. Option to stay exactly right here. Option to interlace all 10 fingers behind
your left thigh and give that left thigh a squeeze, a hug in, just to intensify that right hip stretch. Breathing here. Surrendering to a bit of tension in this posture. And inhaling to energetically send ease to your hips, to your shoulders, your neck, areas that tension might pop up. Take a few more breaths here. And gently release, planting your left foot back down and untwisting. And again, windshield wiper your knees left to right. And then switch to take that reclined pigeon on the other side, planting your left calf on top of your right thigh. Taking whatever variation felt good in your body today, and maybe that's different side to side. But taking whatever fullest expression feels good in your body and going there. We'll be here for several breaths. A few more breaths, surrendering to the deep hip stretch now on the left side of your body. And gently release, untwist. Take that organic movement that feels good in your body. And then take a full body stretch here, reaching your fingertips up above your head and pointing your toes to the wall in front of you. Breathing here. And we'll take a little asana, moving your feet and your hands over to the right side to move that stretch up the left side of the body. Inhale, come through center. And exhale, walking your feet and your arms all the way over to the left side body to now feel that stretch up your right side. And come back through center. And when you feel ready, you can come all the way up to a seated posture. You can grab your yoga strap. And we'll just take a seated single leg extension right here, letting your left foot come to tuck inside of your right thigh. Options to interlace your peace fingers around your big toe on your right foot, or use your yoga strap. Inhale, elongating your spine, pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, folding forward, letting your belly come to meet your thigh. And when you can't fold anymore, letting your head and your neck fall heavy. Breathing here. Inhale, gently rise all the way back up. Switching out your feet. And challenging yourself, maybe taking a different variation on this side. But either way, elongating that spine. And then folding over your left leg. Breathing here. And inhale, gently rising up and out of that extension. Coming to an easy seated pose. And inhaling your hands into a prayer posture all the way up to your third eye center. The light in me honors and adores the light in you. And together we bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining Power Flow today. Again, my name is Kayla. It's a joy to be able to lead your practice. Feel free to provide any feedback that you might have. And if not, we'll see you next week for Power Flow. Take care.
I'm Sarah, and this is Cardio Dance. Are you guys ready to work out? Let's do it.
I woke up feeling like this gon' be my day. I got that poppin' fire every step I take. Living that wild life.
To the bag. Go. That's where we want to go.
Last 10 seconds. I'm right here with you. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Y. My name is Erin. I'm Jennifer.
My name is Linda.
My name is Tommy, and today we're going to do a quick step routine.
We feeling like we can conquer the world today?
I wish you all could smell it. It smells so good.
Time. We get stronger in my world. We're going to do it again.